thank you very much for that, Stuart. One of the great pleasures that I have, well, any mayor of the city has, is that when we take office, we normally nominate charities or good causes that we want to dedicate time and effort during the year to actually helping raise funds, raise profile. And I chose two charities. One is St Benedict's Hospice and the other is the Carers Centre. And I have to say, neither of them were difficult decisions. If you think of the dozens of charities there are in the city, to me, particularly choosing the Carers Centre was maybe the easiest choice of the lot, because I'd known Ailsa for, dare I say it, more than 25 years, and I'd known her in various guises, and I'd always had the utmost professional respect for her. And to me, I'd probably known long before I took over as mayor that I was going to pick the Carers Centre as one of my charities. And one of the very first conversations I had with Ailsa after I'd taken over as mayor was to be told, I'm leaving. Really? Yes. But don't worry, I'm sure they'll find a good replacement for me. They found Graham. Big slats to fill there, mate. But if anybody's up to it, Graham definitely. Because again, I wouldn't dare say how long I've worked with Graham either. It's many a year. But again, Graham knows the city and the voluntary sector literally inside out. And if anyone can build on Ailsa's legacy, Graham's as good as anyone I can think of. So well done, sir. I'll certainly look forward to working with you when you take over in December. Ooh, still a bit of a wait, but just builds up the excitement. Don't worry, but you're not paying him until then, so don't worry. I'm sure he'll be popping in to say hello and have a cup of coffee. Working hard.
The city paid to learn.
Yes, the city paid to learn. No, you don't do that voluntarily, do you? And that's okay. But no, so I'm personally delighted that the future of the Carers Centre is in such rude health. Not just in having a new manager, but in having fantastic new premises. Because I don't think I would be alone in suggesting that the previous premises on Toward Road were not entirely fit for purpose, particularly for an organisation that wants to be sort of inclusive and engage with all members of the community. And trudging up to the top floor of an Ailsa's office was, I think sometimes people needed an oxygen bottle to get up there. So the fact everything's on the flat is a very good move. And I can remember back to when you were on the green at Southwick, I used to nickname it the postage stamp, the old police station that used to look like the public toilet. And I think, well, after you've been there, anything's an improvement. So seeing the new centre is absolutely fantastic. It's quite superb. And going back to the fundraising thing, these are tough times, we all know that. And any money that groups can make is a good thing. And the Mayoress has threatened me to remind everyone that she did take part in a wing walk exercise at the air show, part of which was for the Carers Centre. And despite my misgivings, she actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And just to prove that she's a really generous person, we were at the Mayor of Hartlepool's ball last Friday, and the Mayor of Hartlepool had a fantastic range of prizes in his auction. And up came a paragliding flight. Guess who bid for it? You've got it right, and guess who won? But then comes the real bind. As soon as she's won it, she gets on the phone to one of her council colleagues to say, Michael, guess what I've got for you to do? But he's young. Michael is quite young, and he's probably stupid enough to go and do it. So if anybody wanders around saying, hey, do you want to sign up to support somebody doing a paragliding activity for the Mayor's charity? You know why. So it's a tremendous idea. Again, going back to being the Mayor, I was only here last night, and I know some of you are in the audience. I'm sure some of you feel as if I must be stalking you, because we keep meeting time after time after time. I was only here last night. There was a PCT event then, and again, there are so many common themes that we can pull together as to what's happening in health and care and, if you like, supporting vulnerable people. And I suppose the common message across the piece is this message of of uncertainty. You know, it is a kind of a brave new world that we're all moving into. What services and the delivery will look like 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, I'm not sure really anybody knows. I think there's lots of good intentions, and I certainly know there are hundreds of fantastic workers and volunteers who will sweat blood to make it work to the very best of their ability. But certainly I think we all have to be prepared for maybe thinking a bit differently, working a bit differently, doing stuff a bit differently. And just going around the tables today and meeting people who've been carers for 20 years, 30 years. I mean, somebody said 49 years she'd been a carer for her son. Has anybody done more than 49 years? If you want to stick your hand up, I can't believe there is. Oh, there's a hand. I knew. More than 49 years. Right, okay. 50. Right, so right. So there are some people who've been involved in this for a heck of a long time. And it was actually really fascinating to hear stories from people who'd maybe been carers for 20 years and simply hadn't heard about the carers centre. For whatever reason, they'd just not heard about it. And I was talking to a lady at one of the tables who said she'd only found out about it a couple of years ago, but she'd been a carer for decades. And you could just see the smile come on her face when she was able to express just how much gratitude she has for what difference it's made simply engaging with the carers centre. And not just engaging with the professional workers, but just being part of a network of other carers, having people there who can invite you around for a cup of coffee, or have a chat, or just be your friend. I mean, they're intangibles. Nobody's paying for that. Probably doesn't tick a box for anybody. But it's absolutely priceless. And I suspect maybe nearly everybody in the room is involved in some way or other in doing that, whether you're a worker, a volunteer, or a member of the management committee. And if you think just how many of you are in the room today, I think, what, 5? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 15 rows, 100. That's a lot of people putting a lot of time and a lot of effort supporting some of the most vulnerable people in the city. And I think that is a fantastic testimony to each and every one of you. So instead of giving applause to other people, why not give yourselves a big round of applause? Because you've earned it. And the last thing I'll say, when we were wrapping up at the meeting last night, a certain person, actually it was Sue Winfield, I won't spare her blushes, was on the microphone from the PCT. And we were doing Health Champions. And she was saying, well, now that you've finished, when you finish being the mayor, you really, 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 really want to be a health champion, don't you? Try turning that one down. So hopefully, when my mayoral year does come to an end in May, it won't be the last contact I'll have with the carers centre. I'm sure that Graham will make sure that it isn't. So hopefully, the links and connections we have will go on many years into the future. And certainly, I could not be more proud of having the Carers Centre as one of my charities for this year. And I couldn't be more proud as the Mayor of the city of all the truly fantastic work that you do. It's beyond words how proud I feel of you. So thank you very much for that. Thank you.